guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena on this bright and sunny Tuesday. Guys, so today we're looking at a very interesting change in our meta formation when it comes to the Twisted Realm boss. So historically, with Dark Entity or Dark Namora, we have used this setup right here. Moriel with Skriath. We've used the twins with Mortis and then Astrilda to go ahead and buff them up. Now, today and for the last couple days, we've actually seen a change in this formation, which we're going to look at right here at the leaderboard, which is actually using Isabella. So Isabella is really a primary target just because she deals an extensive amount of damage to targets that are already weak. So essentially within this formation, you have Moriel and you have Skriath get the targets low. Isabella with the plus 30 signature item can finish these off really quick because not only does she have the ability to target the weakest heroes with that Void Barrage, but her ultimate ability does do a significant amount of damage as well, changing up this formation, guys. You can even see here that Skriath is doing 6.7 billion damage. That is right, guys, billion damage. To really maximize the damage that you have with Skriath, building out the signature item, the plus 30 signature item, of course, a really big factor in here to go ahead and get this completed, as well as building out the furniture on him can make a pretty big difference. The other sub to this group that we look at is if you do not have Moriel. Now, a lot of players do not have Moriel. In that case, a lot of players will sub in Chimera. Chimera is still a viable option. This is pretty much the most viable option that you have until you start building other formations within here, including building out Moriel. So with the Chimera formation, you do have to change up this formation quite a bit to drop Rose in here. Rose is super beneficial because Rose will actually follow Chimera, allowing her to ult. If you have Skriath built out, it works a ton as well, just because the sandstorm does continuous damage throughout this entire battle. So let's go ahead. We're going to look at the battle here, see exactly kind of how it plays out. We'll slow it down a little bit. So you can see by the time they pop up, they are dead. Now, Isabella does have the ability to do, again, a absolute insane amount of damage in a very short amount of time. Her burst ability is very high. The crowd control here doesn't matter, but you also got to remember you have the twins giving us the haste buff, which is going to allow Isabella's Void Barrage even to cast faster. And then you also do have Mortis, which you can see is already strengthened. Moriel has already strengthened Skriath. And the Sandstorm ability, due to the haste buff that we get, actually doesn't go down. You'll see right in this top left, this is that Sandstorm buff that Skriath is putting up. By the time the Sandstorm buff is about done, it will come back up and it will actually not leave. You can see it is still right here. Boom, it went down for a matter of probably 1 second. I think about a 1 second duration was the difference between the Sandstorm ability being up and then the Sandstorm ability going back down. And there we go. We get our final buff from Mortis over on Isabella on this side, allowing us to really maximize the damage, guys. In the second that these enemies come up, they are just destroyed. Moriel's Celestial, the star, will actually stay exactly where it's at. No need to move around. It is doing AoE damage to everything. It's crazy how much synergy that we have within here. Not only do we have the crowd control aspect of Skriath, but we also have the crowd control of Moriel. And then, of course, the Void Barrage that Isabella is pumping out here and putting out a ton of damage. Again, with Isabella, she is a finisher, guys. So she will actually do burst damage to the targets that are the weakest. So if we get 1 or 2 hits from Moriel, 1 or 2 hits from Skriath, if you still have a enemy that still has a little bit of life, Isabella will actually target them. The enemy with the lowest life, they will actually be targeted, doing 797 million right there. Now, Skriath is another hero that a lot of players haven't built out because of the 5-pull. They use him for the 5-pull, and then he's pretty much discarded. But as you can see there, during the Sandstorm, all enemies are dealt 2% of the current health value per second is damage, ignoring all defense. Maximum damage cannot exceed 50%. Ultimately, that is very powerful, guys. And again, a lot of players do not build Skriath out to this point, just because short of this event, he's not really used. But in my opinion, Skriath is similar to Lorzen. We're using them within the campaign. We're using them in the 5-pull formations. So ultimately, we can build him out. Again, not the highest priority, but with the sandstorm occurring and it staying up the entire time due to the haste that we're getting with the twins. And then, of course, with the desert trap, beginning of battle, they're pulled together. But right here, guys, when sandstorm weathering occurs, allies that have the wind behind them, more movement speed, and the enemies have a decrease by 75%, meaning the enemies in this battle are not actually going to be moving very much at all. Then, of course, we have Muriel, guys. Muriel is an absolute monster when it comes to damage. During battle, each time an enemy hero near the star core loses health, the star core gains more energy, and she can do a ton of damage, as we just seen within that cosmic field, almost doing as much as Skriath, but Skriath still beats her out. Now, for the artifact distribution, definitely the Warden of the Arcade has haste, has attack. That is what you want, plus the additional damage that can be here. Used on both Muriel and used on Skriath. Definitely. Isabella, I don't have Isabella built out, but the plus 30 signature item on her makes a really big difference. Again, that Void Barrage will particularly target heroes that are the most injured enemies, so it's going to be more of a finishing move with an increased damage that she does. She also has a super fast attack rating, which is the reason why so many players like using her. Does really good within the Greyborn Tower, but also does significant with her ultimate ability. Since we've seen her rework, of course, she is just an absolute monster when it comes to that Greyborn Tower, and now utilized within this formation, which is cool to see. I haven't built her out on here because essentially I don't use her for anything, but now knowing that she is going into the meta in this formation, I am going to have to. Then, of course, the twins, guys. The twins are a hero, there's really not another hero in AFK Arena that brings the utility that the twins do with their ultimate ability, allowing the haste in the duration, speeding up the super cycle of teams, allowing them to really be successful. Guys, that is the reason we always say, and out of the event that is going on right now, the key event, get a copy of the twins, get a copy of Mortis. They are your biggest priorities, followed by Lucretia, followed by Alna. But that is the reason that the twins are the biggest priority, followed by Mortis, guys. Mortis is a hero. You don't need the signature item. You don't need the furniture. You just need him unlocked. And he will work very, very well because of the greed buff that he brings, this empowerment buff. Allies are granted 40% of their attack rating and 40 attack speed, which is a significant buff. They are the two biggest buffers when it comes to boss battles. They're used in most of the Twisted Realm battles. We see them in the Abyssal Expedition, as well as the hunting fields. So make sure, guys, in the current event, if you are going to pick them up, make sure you have the twins unlocked. Make sure you have Mortis unlocked, and then Lucretia and Alna is the priority in there, guys. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Very cool to see Isabella within that Twisted Realm formation. To really maximize that, I'm going to have to either borrow her or I'm going to have to go ahead and build her out. So again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.